The officer took him out to indicate oral sex. The defendant then nodded her head up and down to indicate a yes response. The defendant then told the officer to get a room at a nearby hotel. The officer stated the defendant gestured a 2 and 5 to indicate the price of the hotel. The officer left the scene and gave the predetermined bus signal, and the defendant was detained. The officer stated the defendant
Over, and over. You now stand charged with prostitution.
an officer was conducting an undercover investigation and observed the defendant walking on side of the street. The officer observed that the defendant was exposing part of her breast and made contact with the defendant. The defendant asked the officer if the officer was the police, to which the officer replied he was not, and the defendant gestured her hands a 100, indicating $100.
Okay. I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, ma'am. Here's what we're going to do. I'm putting a monitor on your ankle now, and I'm forbidding you from going to any street from these cases that you've been on. If I find that you do, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail, and I'm going to make your bond high. It stops today. Do you understand? The next thing that we're going to do, I will appoint you a lawyer, but it's time for you to get a real job, a 9-to-5 job, one where you actually work, get up, go to work for 8 hours, and then go home. I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to fill out a gajillion applications. If nothing gets done, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? But this stops on our 4th, no more. And if I find that you're engaging in any type of way, do you understand? So I'd like to look at all the streets for every single case that we've had here, and then we're going to forbid her from going to any of these streets. I want it to ding and a GPS monitor so that we know she's not going to any of these streets. And we'll go from there. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we work out all the details, man. Please.
Purpose of the monitor other than the exclusions, did you want a curfew or anything?
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Yeah. Let's do a curfew so she's not out in the middle of the night.
7?
No, I mean, I don't want it to be restrictive, like 9 to 6. Yeah. I don't want her going anywhere near any of the streets on any of those prior cases. No drugs, no alcohol, and must get a full-time job.